Hello, this is Jeff Fried. I'm the creator of 3D Magical Messages. I'm going to go ahead and just explain to you how to use the first step one in this foundation, what we call foundations. This tab here has a lot going on it, and it may take a little bit, so just bear with me as I go through this. In the front of it, you have these what we call quick buttons that'll take you to different types of shapes that are underneath here. This will change throughout the year and sometimes throughout the month, depending on what's real popular. Up here we have Open Project, Browse Remix, and Random Shapes. And they're just like they say. Now Pick a Shape will give you every single shape that I have in my library. We'll go over that also. And then we'll go over some of these right here. On the left side here we have different sizes of the shape size. For example, if you have a 220 bed, you would want to be under 220. I would even recommend 200, simply because 220 includes a border. So like if I click on here, you can see that it says 200 and total footprint is 224 by 224 millimeters. And then you have all the way up to 300. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can also, of course, move it down to where it gets down to 220 right here. So it just depends on how you want to do that. It's up to you. These presets are here for your benefit. And then we'll get into transfer shape after we go ahead and put a shape in here. You can choose pick a shape here and right here, and then there's the clear. We're going to go into the pick a shape first. And here you'll see all different types of shapes. There's the categories all down here, different types of categories. This will be changing periodically throughout the month and weeks. I change it a lot simply because I want to keep it updated with cool shapes and stuff. And then over here you have my imports. We'll get to that in just a moment. And then we have search clip art. Now clip art, there's two different sections in clip art. There's Iconify, which has over 200,000 different icons. And then we have the Noun Project, which is, these are free. No attribution is required when you use these. These are sourced for me on this particular application right here. Now we also have the shape, a couple of warnings here, well, one warning here. The shape compatibility, solid black icons work best. Shaded or complex icons may not render correctly. So when I put in here, I'm going to just put in something here. We'll use Iconify first, and I'll put in the, let's just put in hat, for example, and then we hit search. We're going to have all kinds of hats come in here. We got 999 icons. We can select up to 5 at a time. Now you can come back and get more if you want. And you can just scroll down here until you find the hat that you would like, or you can go ahead and just choose up to 5 that you like. So we'll just for the sake of for the demonstration here, let's go ahead and just choose one. I wouldn't recommend things that have a hole through it. You can see that this has a white space through the sides or through it. That will not work in shapes or in the foundation tab for shapes. You need to have it completely closed in. These will work even though they have they're not the same color, but they come in as a solid, and I'll demonstrate that too. So we'll choose just for this one here, let's go ahead and choose this one right there, and then we'll go over here and I'll show you what this looks like. Something like, let's see this one right here. So you can see it has a slice through the middle there. And then we also have other ones here like this one here, and let's just choose one. Let's choose a more solid one right there. So we got 4. I might as well get one more, and I'm going to show you why we're choosing these others later. So let's go ahead and let's choose this one, this top hat type. So we got several hats there chosen. Then we come back to the top. You can push this button right here and it'll bring you back to the top, and then you hit the import. What happens is when you click the import is selected, it'll go into this import tab. These are ones that you source and try to find for yourself. After you do it, there will be what they call a toast. This is what's called a toast in the technicals. Say that saving all the different types. So when it gets done, when this is completely done, then you'll want to move off of this. So we'll wait until they're all done. That's why we do 5 only, because if you do like 50 or 25 or whatever, it's going to take a long time. And then you come in here to iconify, and let's go to the noun project, and let's choose hat here also. I'll put hat in here. This gives you a different selection of hats. Some of them are kind of maybe more what you're looking for. And keep in mind, in step 2 and step 3, you can use the same type of shapes. And then when you import it, let's say your project requires a different type of hat. So let's say we wanted, now this only gives you 50. So let's go ahead and choose this hat right here. And then you can choose up to 5 on this as well. And then we'll go ahead and come to the top and we'll import it. So now we have a total of 6 hats that we imported. And we're going to go, now we're going to go to my imports. And you can see that all 6 hats are in here. Notice that they're all solid. This one's not solid because it has a hole through it. This one will not work. And I'll demonstrate that in just a moment, and neither will this one. But the ones that are solid with no white space in between, those are the kind that'll work. So let's demonstrate that. We'll choose this one right here. And it says to double click to add. So we'll just click it, and you can see it came in like that. Now immediately after you bring in a shape for your foundation, you're going to see these other tabs open up. Now if you want to take a quick peek at what this is going to look like before, to make sure it renders properly, you can go into step 4 real quick. You don't have to go to step 2 or 3, you just go right to step 4, and you can see that the bars are only populating the black area. So when I went back here, I had, when I was in the shape, we'll go back in here and go here, you can see the black is what it populated. So let's try this one. Notice it didn't bring in the bottom part, but it brought in the top part. That's because this section down here is separated with a white. Now this will look okay in step 4, but you don't have the hat like you looked at what you thought you might get. However, you might want to keep those anyway. So then I'm going to go ahead and clear. I'm going to go back to pick a shape, and we'll choose, let's just choose this hat. Now you can see it came in. It's in this size, 220 total footprint, and you can go right to step 4 real quick to see if it looks okay, and it does in this case. And then you come back here. Now let's say that I wanted this to be twisted a little bit. For example, I wanted it to, the lines, if you look in step 4, they go completely vertically all the time. So when I'm in here, I can go ahead and twist this a little bit, and then go to step 4, and you can see that the lines for the lenticular part of it changed also. Now we're going to go back here, and we're going to hit reset, and then you can flip it too. So you can flip it so that it's pointing the other direction. This is handy in case for some reason that you have a shape that you put in that would like to be twisted around and turned to a different position. Now I'm going to go ahead and clear this, and we're going to go into open project. We just discussed pick a shape. We're going to go into open project. Now if you have a project saved in here, it'll show up in here, and you can open it and continue to work on it, or remix it so that you can use it for another subject. For example, if it's a birthday celebration and it's for a different person, you can come in here and change the name, and then resave it as a different one. Now we're going to go back in to create a project, and then we have browse remixes. I covered this in a previous video, but basically this gives you the community premixes, and all these are available for you to choose and then download just by pushing the button. When you push a button and then download it, let's go ahead and choose this one right here. It'll go ahead and populate step 7. I mean step 4. I was saying this 6, 7 here. This will go ahead and put it right here. And then you go back to step 1. You can see the shape's already set. Step 2 is there. This will get into this another time. And there's step 3, the 6 and the 7. And then you have the animation. So then we go back here, we hit clear, and now right now that 6 and 7 is still in here, but it's saved in the cache. But that's another question here that we'll look into in just a moment. Now random shape, now it's just like it sounds. It just picks another shape, and you can just keep on going until you see something that you like. And then when you find one that you like, a shape that you like, you can go ahead and keep it, and then just say that use this shape, and it'll keep that shape in play. And then down here we have these presets, what I call quick buttons. Basically, like Christmas here, it's got I think it said 45 icons at this moment. This will be changing as we go closer to Christmas. I'm filming this right after Thanksgiving, so there's other ones. Now you may find some duplicates in here. That's okay. Once you find a shape, you can just click on it and it'll populate in here. Now this is 220, actually 154 I have as my footprint, because when I chose that premix or remix, it was 154. So I need to come back here and change that. And as you can see, when I change it, notice the lines get thinner. That's because for what's happening is this is 0.4 millimeters or 4 millimeter border. So as it gets bigger, obviously the border is the same, but the shape is bigger. So we'll go ahead and come back in here and clear that. And then you have the cats and animals and call out bubbles. This is good for times that you want to go ahead and put something in there and do that. Well, we'll cover step 2 in the next video. Don't forget to read the tips and tricks over here, and then pay attention to the announcement bar up here. There will be questions that may be in there that you may want to answer. And thank you very much for stopping by. We'll hopefully see you in the next one. Don't forget to save your projects, and don't forget to go ahead and choose the remix if you want to go ahead and open the remix, your creation, to others and let them remix. Thank you for stopping by. Have a great day.